Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the BSGL. Season 1 is winding down. We have 3.5 weeks left up until we go into the playoffs. And there are a ton of teams still in this playoff hunt. The Anaheim Royals, the Indianapolis Shift, and the Brooklyn Cobras, just 3 teams that have clinched playoff spots. As we can see that we have a ton of teams still in contention, as I guess it doesn't tell you that teams have been eliminated because obviously the Town Hawks would be eliminated. But the Moose, Predators, Knights, Brigade, Wranglers, all still very much in the race in the West. Pardon me. Along with all these teams that are actually in. And then over here in the East, the Hustlers, Cougars, Bulldogs, all still very much in the race. The Legends could still make a huge run. They have 8 games remaining. Paulos have 6, and the Bulldogs have 8 as well. So a lot of teams that could make a run. White Whale still only have 1 left. So they need to get that win for sure. As we will go into this, or into week 1, and then we will get a standings update after that, as there are quite a few games through this week. So to start off, we travel out to Oakland to see these 2 teams' last games for sure. I thought we'd start off by showing 2 teams that will not be making the playoffs. This is the Milwaukee Wolfpack and, of course, the Oakland Town Hawks. As Town Hawks are actually up to a nice, it was 10-2, now 19-7 start to this game, as we see Xander Myers flipping a floater. 14-point lead down to 10 now. So here's Harrington for 3, and he nails it. And the Town Hawks are looking like they might win a 7th game of the year. Shackelford goes to, was that Leonard right there, as he puts one in. Missed a free throw, though. So there's Alan Smith inside, goes up, 2 for him. As here comes the Wolfpack, down now just 9. Alan Smith again after the half, as Xander Myers comes over the block here. He's going to throw it up court to Green, who puts it in. And the Town Hawks lead by, what was that, 11? Now 17. Alan Smith fadeaway, got it to go. 15-point lead, down to 13. Alan Smith on the other side, got it to fall. 11-point game now, up to 15. Here's Funderburg for 3, no good. Smith, rebound, got it. As I'm pretty sure that the Town Hawks have definitely locked up the worst record. There's a 3 nailed right for the horn. But yeah, not a whole lot to show here in the 4th, as the Town Hawks do come away with a win by 12 points. Or not 12, 14 now. Whoops, thought it was over. As they do lead by 14. Here's Myers, one last slam for the season to put a cap on this one, as the Town Hawks do win their last game by 16, at least giving the fans leaving them with a nice taste in their mouth going into the draft and next season. Checking out some box scores on the week. First, the Blaze beat the Flamingos by 8. Kelly Antonov 36, 18, and 8. Kanye Jordan 20. BSGL had 36 and 14. Alabaster had 19. Next game, the Enforcers lost to the Hilltoppers by 13. Parker Puff had 31, 8, and 10. Bowen had 20. Morris had 36 like usual, and Will Trusted down here with 10 and 11. Legends go to the Brigade and get absolutely walloped for the Brigade. Maravich had 26. Jones had 22 and 18. Marks only had 15, and nobody else broke double digits except for Bumgarner. Reggie George had 15 rebounds. Taylor 13. The Shift lost to the Titans by 11, their first loss in a while in overtime. The Titans continued to surge. 31 points for Green, 20 and 16 for White, as Long had 29 and 18, and then 18 for Little as well. The game we just saw, the Town Hawks lose again. Surprise, surprise. Xander Myers actually pulled his weight this time, though. 27 and 17. Somerton 20. Green 18 and 12. Smith had 21, and then Cartwright had 17. Or Leonard had 17, and Cartwright had 14 and 19. Looking at the next day, the Huskies defeated the Legends by 5. Reggie George led the way, 21 and 10. Bradley had 26 and 10, and Raven had 20. The Skyliners taking L to the Pioneers by, 24? 24 and 10 for Cunningham, and down here Spears only had 9 and 13. John Francis led the way for the Skyliners with 14 and 22, but they did take the L. Hustlers lose to the Sharks by 11 as the Hustlers continue to struggle. 22 and 10 for Quentin Poe, 22 and 12 for Tatum. Abdul Wahad led the way for the Hustlers with 25, 22 for Natchbar. Skyliners, holy shit, take a 28-point L to the Town Hawks. It's like their first win of the season. Town Hawks, Williams Jr. had 23, Kellogg 21, Harrington 21, and Myers down here with just 12, 9, and 6. John Francis had 22 and 25, and Dombrowskis had 19. Bulldogs lost to the Pandas by 12. Majabal led the way for the Pandas, 21. Khan 20 and 10. For Armstrong, he had 36. Beretta had 23 and 14. The Legends beat the Apollos by 20. RJ Blue had 17. McCoy had 17. And Hayden Oakley only had 8 and 17. Marks had 26 for the Legends. Bumgarner had 19. Reggie George 17 and 21. As the Shift lost to the Wolfpack. There's quite a few upsets this week. They lose by 7. Only scored 6 points in the third quarter. Alan Smith with 23 and 11. And Long with 28. Haley with 24. Going in the next day, the Skyliners lose to the Sharks by 4. Godric Butler 21. Tatum 17. Pope 15-13. Duhan led the way for the Skyliners with 19, and John Francis had 15 and 11. The Royals then beat the Bulldogs by 2, 32 more for Chuck Armstrong, 18 for Charlie Harper, and 13 and 10 for Massenberg. Kenny Dimes had 34 and 10, and Weber had 18 along with Mack. The second to last day of the week, the Wranglers take an L to the Hilltoppers by 6. Puff with 27, 14, and 11. That's a triple-double. 19 for Hollencorn and 12 and 14 for Sullivan. Shelton had 22, 14, and 9. Mobley 21, and Altlaw was down here with 14. The Blaze took a 29-point L, or they got a 29-point win against the Hustlers, 23 for Riley and 17 for Alabaster. Pittsnogle had 13 and 13. Nashbar led the way for the Hustlers with 21. Duncan 15 and 22. Next game, the Huskies won again, beat the Apollos by 9. MJ Hart with 20. Oakley with just 12 and 20. Owen Bradley with 19 points. Justice with 18. And Thornburg was down here with 9 and 10. The Royals beat the lost to the Cobras by 6 in Brooklyn. 27 for Stone, 24 for Dyson, as Rich Mack led the way this time with 37, and Dimes had 16 along with Weber and Van Breda Kolf. Going into the last day, the Flamingos beat the Shift by 6. Little had 20, Haley 19, Long 15 and 11, as Antonov had yet another triple-double, 22, 14, and 16. Greenwald had 22, and Jordan had 20, as that will send us into our Week 2 game. For this Week 2 game, we travel out to Chicago to see the Charlotte Cougars and the Chicago Enforcers, as both of these teams are in desperate need of a win to try and get into that playoff mix. Good Lord, as we see Lavender here nail the 3, and Chicago's up 7 early. Chicago, whoops. As here's Shang, rebound as he's going to dunk all over Will Trust. Will, just get out of the way. You're not tall enough to even be fouling him to even make a difference. As here's Kabar Kappa going up and catching a lob. As I didn't even know he could get up that high. As here's Shang inside for 2 more. As he's been beasting and feasting here so far, as he's got his team up to a 2-point lead. As how about that dime from Will Trust into Morris? What a pass there, as I got a little choked up in my own spit. But that's okay. Sanders has an and 1 here. He hits the free throw, gets through the old-fashioned way. As there's a lob, well, not a lob, a missed shot, but basically a lob to Gallagher as he slams one down. And there's a man driving on the inside. He's not going to get it to fall. Shang, rebound, another man got dunked on. He was a little bit bigger than Will Trust, but dunked on nonetheless as Shang down the lane again. He's got 2 more. 1-point lead now for Chicago. Here's Will Trust, mid-range, step back, and he got it to fall. So a 3-point lead for Chicago in the second. Here's Shang. Working in the mid-range. He's just going to pull up. Gets it to fall. Look at the big man rise up and fire. As here's Shang on another lob. He got a little bit of separation, and his point guard did not hesitate to throw it to him. As here's Will Trust in the mid-range again as he banks this one in. And it's a 1-point Charlotte lead. Akibono inside again on Will Trust. That is too easy. 1-point lead now still for Charlotte. As what was Cambridge thinking here, fouling Stephen Morris? He missed a free throw, but what a horrible foul. So here's Morris again. He's just going to pull up for 3 off the pass from Will Trust, and he got it. Stephen Morris gives him a 4-point lead, as now it's 8. As Akibono Shang just makes it look too easy. They've got to get somebody a little stronger on him, as he is just bully balling his way in, just like that, flipping it in on the layup. He's like if Jokic had some speed. He's looking to just knock the man off, shoot the hook shot. Absolutely no chance for that Chicago center as Morris throws down a vicious jam. He's taking out a little anger on the rim there. So still a 3-point game. As here we have a slam from Little Takashiki. I think that's him. No, maybe not. As Hawkins throws down a right-handed jam. We're in the last month of the season. I still don't know my players, but Shang still finding points on the inside. It's a 1-point lead for Charlotte. Still is another lob. He's been dunking all game. As here he's getting a steal. And up the floor from Adams. He's going to go up and put it in. Shane gives him a 3-point cushion. As here's the or how about that pass behind the head? No look. Shane's going to dunk it home. 7-point lead now for Charlotte. As here's Will Trust. Good Lord. He hits the midi. Will Trust again. Little half spin. Whips it out. Sanders, 3-ball. Good. Down to a 2-point game with 1:39 to go. After another stop, just 10 seconds later, Sanders again. He goes over to Thompson. Thompson hits the 3. Back-to-back threes give Chicago the lead. And then after a foul, Lavender, he's going to hit the 3 too. So it is now a 3-point lead for Chicago. Lavender again. He's going to drive. Go to Morris. Morris, mid-range. Got it. Up to a 3-point lead now for the Enforcers. The Cougars vote to go inside to Shang and then get a quick foul as they fouled Will Trust, who heads to the line. Maybe their season on the line here as he knocks them both down. Ice in the little man's veins as the Cougars need a 3 here. And the Enforcers don't double but triple team Shang, and he leaves Kabar Kappa wide open, and he hits the deep 3 from just inside the logo. Kabar Kappa hit it. As here's Will Trust, 2 seconds left. He's got a good look, but from way downtown, and he missed it. So we will have overtime in Chicago. 40 seconds into overtime already. Here's Threat. He gets one to fall, and the Enforcers are up 2. Enforcers now up 4. They get another stop. Here's Will Trust going inside to Hawkins. Hawkins, no good. Morris, rebound, goes up, slams it all over Akibono, Shang, and Kabar Kappa as he will head to the line and hit his free throw. Now a 7-point lead for the Enforcers. The Cougars still haven't scored. Here's a 3. No good. Morris comes up with it, jams it home. Morris does it all in overtime as the Enforcers collect the win and improve their playoff hopes. Checking out the box scores from Week 3, starting with March 30th. The Townhawks took an L to the Buzz by 15. Bohannon had 22. Worley Talbert had 21. Wagner had 18. Johnson 17, 17, and 14. That's a triple-double. Somerton had 20. Somerton had 25. Williams Jr. 20. And Xander Myers just 9 and 12. For the next game, the Sting go to Cincinnati and take a 4-point loss to the Bulldogs. Trent Beretta had 35. Jolly Harper with 29. And Armstrong with 14. Brian Williams, 22, 10, and 11. That's a triple-double. And Clark with 22, but they did lose. The Moose went to Phoenix, to Phoenix and took a 1-point L to the Blaze. Richmond had 25 and 10. B.J. Riley had 20 and 10, and Pittsnuggle had 12 and 13. Banks led the way for the Moose with 19. Kenningfield and Hamlin both had 15, and Farmer had 13 and 10, along with Gilbert with 11 and 11. The Hilltoppers went to the Legends and got a 1-point win as they continue to be hot. 22 and 16 for George, 19 for Bumgarner, 25 for Hollencorn, 15, 17, and 10 for Parker Puff. That's a triple-double. The game we just saw, the Enforcers smash the Cougars in overtime. We were tied at the end of regulation, so we went to overtime. I think his name's Steven. I about said Sean. Stephen Morris, 53, 10, and 9. A huge game from him. Lavender with 24. O.J. Hawkins with 14 and 26, and Will Trust with just 13 and 10. Akibono Shang also had a huge game, 56 and 19. Kabar Kappa with 19, and Adams with 13 and 10. Going into April, we are through March. The Wranglers take an 11-point L to the Bulldogs, 37 for Jolly Harper, 20 for Armstrong, 20 for Beretta. As Outlaw led the way for the Wranglers with 28, Shelton with 25 and 13. Then Witherspoon also had 17, pardon my hiccup. The Titans now at 17 and 10 as they get a 9-point win here. Bradley had 28, 9 and 8. Boomshay with 20, and then Raven with 19. Doug White had 28 and 17. Manchun had 22, and Greena had 19. The Royals beat the Legends by 31 as George led the way for the Legends, 26 and 15. Marks with 23. Mack had 34 and 10. Rogers 25, and Brady Kolf 19 and 10. And Kenny Dimes had a triple-double with 16, 10, and 13. On the second, the Blaze get another win. They're now 17 and 11. B.J. Riley with 34, 11, and 7. Johnson with 13. Pittsnuggle with 11 and 8. Or as the Sharks. Gildas Butler had 20. Pope had 19. Tatum had 16. And Ellis Jr. had 15. So we go into the third. The Bulldogs win again. Could they sneak into the playoffs with just 2 games left? As they win this one, as Long had 24 and 13. Little had 18. And Foster had 17 and 12. Beretta had 40 and 10, a huge game from him, and Armstrong had 21, 12, and 11, and triple-double from him. As the Hustlers lose yet again, they are now 12 and 16. They lose this one by 5 to the Cougars. 22 for Abdul Bahad, 21 for Natchbar, and 16 and 27 for Duncan. 22 for Adams, 20 and 12 for Shang, and 18 for Ming as they pick up the win. And they get another one the next night to go to 13 and 13 against the Wolfpack. Smith had 21, Cartwright 19 and 15, but for the Cougars, 35 and 23 for Akibono, and 18 for Ming.
The Sharks beat the Bison by 11 in Oklahoma City, 24 for Bates, 20 and 11 for Lu Feng, and 15 for Ahern. Tatum had 29, Gilbert Butler 21, and Quentin Pope 19, 8 and 5. Going into the last day of the week, the Bison pound the Goblins by 37 in Denver. 33 for Wade Cage, 18 and 12 for Jameson. Obviously not enough to get them the win. Towers finished with 24, Davis Reitzel with 23, Bates with 20, Strawberry with 20 and 12. The Predators went to the Blaze and took a 21-point L as B.J. Riley now ended with 27, 8 and 8, Richmond 20, Baker 20, as Parker had 15, O'Gallagher Jr. 15, Ball 13. The Wolfpack took an L to the Bulldogs. Like I said, they continue to get better and better, it seems like. They win this one by 12 at home. Armstrong with 29, 8 and 5. Massenberg 23. Beretta 22 and 11. And Van Exel with 13 and 13. Shackelford had 33. And Alan Smith had 18, 9 and 8. And Leonard 18 and 11. The Royals escape with a win here as they win by 1. Rich Mack 31. Kenny Dimes 25, 10 and 14. That's another triple-double. And 20 for Rogers. DeJuan Jones had 27, 11, and 9, a huge game from him, 22 from Maravich, and 16 and 10 for whatever that guy's name is. As that concludes this week, as we will do a quick season awards, because I don't think we looked at this week or last week's. Stephen Morris and DeAndre Johnson both win, and Achille Antonov and Lamar Shelton both won. As there are only 2 weeks left in the season, so we are going to take a quick look at the playoff picture. The Shift, the Titans, the Hilltoppers, and the Cobras have all punched their ticket into the postseason in the East. The Flamingos, Enforcers, Huskies, White Whales, Cougars, Bulldogs, and that is pretty much it. I don't think that the Hustlers could get in because I don't think that they show teams that have been eliminated because the Skyliners that have already been eliminated. So plenty of teams still hunting for the playoffs here, as it will be interesting to see who gets in. These two definitely still in the running. I don't really know about the Hustlers. As now if we look at the West, the Royals, have they clinched the number 1 seed? Is that what a Z means? I think so. The Royals have pretty well clinched their, I don't know if that's division or conference, but they will be one of very few teams to finish with 20 wins for sure. As if the Cobras win their last game, they'll have 20, but the Anaheim Royals might be the only team to finish with 20 wins. The Blaze and Utah and New Orleans are all in. Oklahoma City, Portland, Denver, Sacramento, Minnesota, San Antonio, Memphis, Houston, and honestly the Predators and San Diego could all, maybe not these two, but all the way up until Houston to Minnesota are all still in the hunt, and these teams are clinging for dear life. So we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 teams pretty well hunting for just 4 more spots. So it will be interesting to see how those go as we go into Week 3. For this Week 3 game, we head to Houston to watch the Memphis Knights and the Houston Predators play, as the Predators are pretty well out of this one playoff contention-wise, but the Knights still very much have a chance, but they need a win here in Houston just to have a chance. Even if they get it, they're still not a guarantee. But how about that lob from Zigaranovich to Heinsohn as he goes up and gets it? As there's Tillman, is looking like they might dunk their way to a victory, but they're down 4 now, make it 7 off the 3 in the corner, as it's an 8-point game now. How about the over-the-head pass, over-the-head lob to Bohannon? Still a 6-point game, little mid-range jumper, no good. Wallace rebound, slam, as the Knights down by now 7. Here's Richardson, 3-ball off the pass from Zigaranovich, it's good, and they will head into the half down 4. Now a 32-32 game, 3:40 to go in the third. Here's Heinsohn, rebound. He goes up, and he gets it to fall off the second chance point. So the Knights get their first lead of the game, I do believe. So here's Heinsohn again on the break. More points for him. Here he is in the post against a much smaller man, doing all sorts of spins, half spins, pump fake, got it to go. 4-point lead, now 6 for the Knights. They've been all over him this second half. As there's Heinsohn in the mid-range again. He's just too tall, and he fades for 2 more. Heinsohn inside, got inside positioning, just lays it in, and it's a 10-point lead. Now down to 8. As the Knights need to do something here before the end of the quarter, and that will definitely do it. A nice slam there, and they're up 12 here to start the fourth. Make it 14 off that incredible pass from Zigaranovich. As here he is again, he's going to throw the lob to Heinsohn, and that might do it. It's a 14-point game with just 6 minutes to go. Predators need something quick. As here's O'Gallagher, and Heinsohn gets way up and says no. As here's Heinsohn again, he wants to make these playoffs as he nails the mid-range jumper. 14-point game. Here's Kevin Ball, who we haven't seen anything from. He finally gets open for 3 and knocks it down to make it an 11-point game. So here he is again. He finds Snyder over on the wing. He's going to hit the three, and the Predators are not out of it yet. Down to up to a 10-point game again in the post. Here's Snyder again. He hits another three. With a minute 07 to go, they're down 7, but they would not have the gas to come back, as it will be a 9-point lead for Memphis, and that will drastically improve their chances of making the playoffs as well. Checking out the box scores on week 4. First off, the Knights did defeat the Cougars by 8. We see Ivan Heinzen had 28 and 11. Wallace had 14 on top of that for the Cougars. Cambridge had 15. Kabar Kappa 14. Shang with 13 and 20. On the 7th, the Bulldogs defeated the Apollos by 28, pretty well, or not 28, 38, pretty well knocking them out of the playoff race. Hart had 17, Oakley had 11 and 18 for the Bulldogs, 21 and 11 for Trent Beretta, 22 for Van Exel, 16 for Armstrong, 13 and 15 for Massenberg. The Shift beat the Huskies by 10, not a record you want to finish with if you're the Huskies fan. 14 and 15, 21 for Justice, 19 for Boomshay, and 12 and 10 for Bradley. Little had 23, Long had 20 and 10, Cousins 17 and 13, and Foster down here with 9, 9 and 10, as that is what the Shift will finish at, 19 and 10, not quite to the 20-win mark. The Legends beat the Cougars, as the Cougars desperately need a win in their last game for playoff hopes. 22 for Shang, 21 for Ming, 30 and 21 for George, 15 for Taylor. Next game, the Pandas defeat the Goblins, as the Goblins will also finish 14 and 15. Wade Cage finishes with 38 and 10. Jameson with 26 and 11. Joe Mercant with 24. Sun Ming 19. Majaba 19, and Midas Khan with 14, 10 and 10, a triple-double. The Townhawks take an L to the Moose. Once again, surprise, surprise, 31-point win for the Moose. 19 for Hanlon, 17 for Love, 15 for Farmer, and 12 and 13 for Cy Gilbert. For the Townhawks, 10 and 10 for Xander Myers, 16 for Somerton, and 20 for Green. The Wranglers beat the Bison by 8, as the Bison will finish 15 and 14, 23 and 12 for Lu Feng, and 17 for Dwight Towers. Lamar Outlaw had 26. Lamar Shelton 27 for Outlaw. 26 for Shelton, along with 9 and 14. The Titans continue their winning ways as they win this one by 25. Doug White with 25 and 14. Green with 19, and Moncrief with 18. As Oakley had 19 and 11. The Knights defeated the Predators by 15 to also finish 14 and 15. 26 and 16 for Irvin, 20 for Parker, and where was our boy? There he is. 9, 6, and 7 for Kevin Ball. He was 2 of 21. That is not too great. Ivan Heinzen had 37 and 16. Zigaranovich 18. Bohannon 18 and 16 and 10 for Wallace. On the 10th, the Flamingos take a 13-point L in their last game of the season to the Hustlers, as the Hustlers finished 13 and 16. Flamingos 15 and 14. 28 for Natchbar, 18 for Abdul Wahad, and 6 and 18 for Duncan. Kili Antonov finishes with net another triple-double, 18, 13, and 11. Nanaji had 15 as well. The Skyliners defeat the Bulldogs in the Bulldogs' last game. And the Skyliners' last game, they get 10 wins and go 10 and 19. Bulldogs 14 and 15. 27 for Armstrong, 17 for Van Exel, 15 and 13 for Beretta. John Francis had 27 and 21. And Dambrauskas had 11. On the 11th, the Apollos beat the Enforcers by 7, as the Enforcers finished 15 and 14. 27 for Morris, along with 14 boards. 16 and 5 for Will Trust. 25 for Brown, and 20 and 10 for Hayden Oakley, as the Pioneers beat the Townhawks in their last game of the season, as the Townhawks finish a terrible 7 and 22. 22 points for Somerton in their finale, along with 12 and 12 from Myers. R.J. Miller had 24. Spears 16 and 11. Hickson had 18 as well. So on the last day of this week, the Enforcers beat the Legends, Bumgarner 19, and Reggie George 11 and 13. 39 and 16 for Morris, and 17 and 13 for Will Trust and Hawkins. The Apollos beat the Wolfpack, 20 for Smith, 12 and 10 for Cartwright, 17 for McCoy, 15 for Oakley. And then in the last game, the Brigade beat the Knights, 28 and 13 for DeWan, 20 for McKenneth, and 33 and 12 for Ivan Heinzen. So we will go into this last half week of play and see what kind of game we can get. Maybe we can find a game that will have big playoff implications, and then we will see who made the playoffs. So we wanted a game with big playoff implications, and we found one, as the Minnesota Moose go to New Orleans, as they need a win to make it in. It is win or go home for the Moose in this game. It is practically a playoff game. Right now, they are the 7th seed, but the 8th seed has the tiebreaker over them. So if they lose, they are out, and if they win, they are in. And here's Khan inside, little shimmy. He hits a hook. It's a 1-point lead for the Moose. Here's Khan again, making it a 1-point lead for the Pandas. Sun Ming, here he is going at the hoop as he gets fouled by Farmer, and he goes to the line and 1 for Sun Ming. He's already got he had a 3 earlier in this game as well. So here's Gilbert, very short little fadeaway. He gets it to fall. 1-point lead for the Pandas. Now here's Gilbert at the horn. Not quite at or as time expired, but he gets it to fall nonetheless. Here's Banks for 3. He gets it to fall. 4-point lead for the Pandas. Looking good so far with their playoff hopes. And Farmer throws one down off the lob. Here's Farmer again inside. My lord, looking like Shaq. As he throws that one down, as Khan did not look like he was ready for that lob, but catches it nonetheless and puts it in. 5-point lead for the Moose. Banks inside. He's going to slam it all over. I think that was Majaba. As here's Alexander Walker. He's going to pull a 3. He gets it to fall. Back down to a 4-point game. It is now just 2 as time runs down in the second. As here's Holmes in the corner. He gets it to fall to give the Moose a 5-point lead going into the second half. Now in the second half, here's Sun Ming. No good. Khan rebound, puts it in. 3-point game. Now down to 1. Here's Khan on Gilbert. Gets it to fall. Tough little shot. It is a 1-point lead. As here's Domerkant. Somebody's got to get in his way, or else he can throw it down. Here's Banks inside. No good. Farmer there with the follow. 1-point game. Khan, mid-range shot. No good. Rebound goes to Houston, and he gets an and 1. Farmer's had some big dunks, but he's also had some dumb fouls as they convert the and 1. As here's Sun Ming putting all sorts of handles on Benningfield, and he puts it in for the and 1. That's his second or third of the game. 4-point lead now for the Pandas. Here's Domerkant. Let's make it 7 as he nails the top of the key 3. As here's Gilbert in the post. He goes there, or he puts it in. Got a little discombobulated here, but that's there. Gilbert is where they've gone all season when they're down, as he puts in another one here to make it a 1-point game, now up to 3. Here's Alexander Walker, finds Khan all the way in the corner, who nails the deep 2, and it's a 5-point Pandas lead. Gilbert inside, off the pass from the dude who looks like he belongs in 1968. 2 more for the Moose. As how about that pass? You cannot let that happen if you're the Moose at the end of the quarter. 2 very easy points. So it is a 5-point game. Khan putting the spin move on. No good. Gets his own rebound and puts it back. 7-point lead now for the Pandas as it's looking like the Moose's chance are falling apart. But Banks give them a nice boost here on the 3, making it a 4-point game. Banks again throwing this one down. Nobody got in his way. 2-point game. Here's Khan. Need a stop here if you're a Moose fan. Khan, no good. Puts it back up and in. 4-point game now to 5. Here's Newman, goes up, gets it to fall. It's a 7-point game with 1:45 remaining, as that will do it. Banks is going to pull one here at the horn, but the Moose will not go to the playoffs as they do lose to the Pandas. So here we are looking at the last half week of stats. The Wranglers win their last game against the Sharks. Neither one of these teams will make the playoffs. The Sharks, 16 for Gildreth Butler, 7 and 13 for Pope. 29, 22, and 16 for Shelton, and 14 for Outlaw. The White Whales fall in their last game to the Cougars, as Boyd had 9, 8, and 10, Guerrero 24, Butterfield 14 and 12, Shang had 16 and 15. On the next day, the Moose do lose, so they will not make the playoffs, I do not believe, as Midas Khan had 30 and 23, Sun Ming with 27, Banks had 26, Gilbert 25 and 19, Farmer 14 and 22, had a little burp there. Buzz defeat the Sting by 15, 22 for Worley Talbert, 17 for Wagner, 15 for Bohannon, 15 and 12 for Johnson, Clark 15, Lyons 15, Williams 10 and 11. The Royals win again. They get 21 wins. Huge season for them. 26 for O'Gallagher Jr., Kevin Ball with 9, 8, and 11. Rich Mack had 28 and 11. Kenny Dimes 25, 9, and 13. The Titans defeated the Legends by 21. 18 and 10 for Taylor, 17 and 22 for George. As for Doug White, 24 and 14, 20 and 11 for Figueroa. And then the Hilltoppers took a 20-point out of the Cobras, 27 for Hollencorn, 16 and 12 for Parker Puff, 24 for Stone and Dyson. And then we still need to sim this game and then head into the playoffs. So let's go ahead and simulate that game. Here's a quick look at the Player of the Week for the last week, as John Francis and Lamar Shelton both take it, and then Player of the Month for April was John Francis and Ivan Heinsohn. So some good stuff from both of them. Here's a quick look at the playoff bracket, as we see that Anaheim will take on San Antonio in round 1. Portland will take on Arizona. New Orleans will take on OKC. Utah, Sacramento. Brooklyn and Toronto. Boston, Miami. Indianapolis and Chicago. And Detroit and Charlotte. As here is how all of the teams finished. Here's the Western Conference standings. The Anaheim Royals with the best record in the league at 21-8. Buzz and Pandas both at 18-11. Blaze with 17 wins. And we had quite a few teams make it in the West with a losing record. As in the East, 20-9 for the Cobras, 19 for the Shift in Detroit. Hilltoppers with 18, and then Flamingos and Enforcers both with 15 wins. And then the Cougars and Huskies, as the White Whales did not make it in, even though they are above the Huskies right there. So we will look at the MVP and all that stuff in a regular season finale, and then regular season recap and all that stuff, and a little playoff preview in the next video. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed, leave a like, subscribe, and I will see all of you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.